Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Spellforce Conquest of EO with Vormithrax. That's me. I'm the Vormithrax part. We're going to do another restart. This one's for realsies, though. So for the for the Twitch side, you folks, I've done a few restarts. I'm going to play this one through to the bitter end. I've got enough of an understanding, I think, of the basics of the gameplay and the progression and so on. We're going to stick to Explorer difficulty until I get a full playthrough done, which will be this one. This will also give me an opportunity to do a session where we can send it on over to YouTube, so the YouTube folks can get a look at Spellforce Conquest of EO. I intended for the last one to do that, but power outage destroyed one of the recordings, so we'll start fresh. So we've learned a lot in the last episode, and I understand some of the differences now between Explorer and Balanced difficulty. I strongly recommend, even for old school aficionados of the turn-based 4X style gameplay games out there, that you play first on Explorer difficulty. Just back it down a notch. Don't jump into Balanced or above like I did. This one does enough things differently that you really need to get a handle on it before you jump the difficulty up. So do yourself a favor, start on Explorer, and then once you've got that, move up from there. So that's what we're going to be doing. So let's go ahead and hit Start Campaign. We are going to be Alchemist. That's the one I'm familiar with so far. After we get a full playthrough done, we'll start experimenting with some of the other character classes or go custom and build our own. But we are going to be an Alchemist, Alchemy class, primary school nature, secondary school enchantment. Yeah. I feel like there's some overlap there that's unnecessary. I'll probably, if I play the game long-term, which it might be a long-term game for me, I'll probably end up going custom mage and switching out. Probably get rid of nature and pick something else instead of nature. But basically, that's the schools of magic you have access to. Yeah, let's hit continue. All right, we're going to choose our starting location. So it's a set map. So the map itself, the geography, and the location of the big cities is always the same. But you have several different starting locations, as you can see here on that map. Plus, you have the choice of what kind of character class you want to be. And then the map has randomized locations for all the resource nodes, the quest locations, just tons of stuff that's placed on the map actually gets randomized and changed from one playthrough to another. So even though the map is static, there's a lot of variation due to the randomization of a few things. So I think I'm perfectly fine with the fact that it's a static map. It's also a huge map, so very, very large map. So let's go Golden Fields again. Again, that's the one I'm comfortable with and familiar with. So pleasant challenge. Goblins, bandits, and insects primarily will be the passive enemies, other than the magers that we have to deal with. The other 4 circle mages. Cultivated plants and sparse in ore. Civilized central region. Now we're going to pick our difficulty. This is what I was talking about. I jumped into Balanced. Probably not the best decision, but you don't know ahead of time. After I face-planted off it a few times, just mostly due to lack of specialized knowledge of some of the events and story choices, and kind of the progression of the balancing, I don't recommend it. Go to Explorer first. Do an Explorer. They even say so for players who want to familiarize themselves with the game. Recommend it for your first playthrough. So leave it on that. And that's going to give us time to explore, occasional attacks on our tower, weaker enemy stacks, balanced economy, and forgiving AI. If you watch this, when I click balanced, everything changes. So all 5 categories change. Now, when you go balanced to hard, only I think not even the bottom 2. It's yeah, it's just these 2 change. But yeah, we're going to go explore. Start campaign. So I've seen the campaign storyline stuff, this intro stuff, quite a few times. I'm not one that cares much about that kind of story flavor content generally in these types of games. So I'll be skipping through a lot of the dialogue and lore kind of info. On the YouTube side, you folks can feel free to pause the video if you want to actually read through the text descriptions and the choices that I'm making. We're going to press a key. All right. Basically, our master, who is becoming a mage, was doing magical research. We were away for some reason. We come back, and he's gone, and he ran afoul of the Circle of Mages. That's the cadre, the mage school. They control magic and regulate magic, but they're hoarding it. They're bad. So here's our starting position. I'll zoom all the way out to the paper map. You can kind of get an idea of the map size. So that's what we see so far. It scrolls up to there. It scrolls down to there. So we're pretty much dead center. Scrolls that way, and it scrolls that way. That is a very large map. Very large map. I don't think on any of my playthroughs so far I've gotten more than maybe 10%, 15% of the map exposed. So, very large map. Hey there, Spitalier and Art of Stuttering. Thanks very much for some more gift subs. Appreciate that, Spitalier. We just started. I'm lucky I got 5 people on for you to gift sub too. I think you hit probably everybody in the channel. Currently, anyway. Okay, you're just in time, though. We're firing up a brand new one. All right. So again, for the benefit of mostly the YouTube side, and probably we have some Twitch folks that haven't seen me play this yet. It looks and it seems fairly similar to HOM-style games or AOW, things like that. And it is in some ways, but it does have some pretty big differences in others. At the top of the screen, we have our resources: gold, mana, mastery, research, and all fire. And we'll talk about those in a little bit. We got some filters. We got our map. We got our next unit and end turn buttons. That's pretty much it. We can zoom in. We can zoom out. We can click on our stack, and we can see the unit details. We can right-click to bring up information screens with all of their stuff and abilities. Movement rates, combat power of the stack, etc. So, pretty straightforward. So, our first goal, our first mission is to go to our tower and find out what's going on. Go visit our master's tower. We're gonna do that. Let's go there. All right, corpses and debris. There's a big fight, apparently. We examine the flute we're carrying, and we can revisit the battle, which is a combat tutorial. We don't need to do that. We're going to say, I know what happened. Your master is gone. I assume he's dead. We're going to set ourselves up in his tower, take stock. The whole place was looted and robbed as well. We see some signs of goblins, so we're going to go to the goblin camp and find the thieves. The game will generate quest locations around you. So, like I said, the map itself is static. You're always going to start here if you pick the Golden Fields location. And some of the locations are the same. That is always there, but that's randomized. That's randomized. This might be in a different position. So it randomizes quite a few of the other items. All right, so next goal is to go down and talk to the goblins. So I can ambush them, we can fight them, and get some combat XP for our troops, but I'm going to wait and watch. We're going to call out again. We're going to let them flee. Even this is different. I don't always get these same choices. Interesting. All right. You served my master. So a goblin shaman and a dwarven ignition. Well, that's a good result. So that saves me some time and money. And that's what I mean by some of the knowledge, the inherent knowledge. You need to know some of these dialogue choices. You can get vastly different results depending on what you pick from those conversation choices. It's now flashing these at me. Let's go unflash them. So this is our tower. We can build room expansions on the tower to give us bonuses. This gives us alchemy, access to the alchemy lab where we can craft potions because we're an alchemist. The study gives us 3 or 5 research per day, and the workshop gives us 3 gold per day. So it increases our resource output. It takes 5 turns and 25 mana to build, 5 turns and 45 gold to build, 1 turn and 10 gold to build. Let's go ahead and get the lab going. Next up is our inventory. So we just found a dwarven ignition. It's basically a bomb. 18 elemental damage, out to 4 range, and can apply burning. And we have our hiring screen. So now that our tower is in our control, we have a blue border around it. This is the domain. This is the radius around the tower within which we get to harvest resources. And if there are locations like this that have this symbol, it's a hireable location. So because we have a goblin camp with a little hiring symbol, we can recruit goblins within our tower screen right here. That is a mine. If we can expand our border 1 range, we'll get access to that, which will give us 5 gold per turn. That's what these symbols mean. Same symbol here. So as soon as we have that within our domain, we'll have 5 additional gold. And that here will give us access to soldiers to recruit. The domain can expand through research and mastery. There's other ways to get domain, and you'll kind of see that as we go. This is a mineable resource. You have to have mining as an ability on a character or a unit in order to harvest it. It's not automatic from the tower. And then these are plant harvesting. So that's the... I only seen these 2 types. I don't think there's any other harvesting types. It's either plants or it's ore and minerals and such. All right, so we're all set there. We need to go gather the materials that were looted. That's 1 stack. There's probably another stack somewhere just outside my vision range. So we can go there to grab some items. We can go there to grab some, I forget if it's mana or research that we get. I think that's mana. Can't do much with that right now outside of our resources. We were given a goblin shaman as part of our group, so we're currently restricted to 4 units max in our combat stacks. This star here is for a hero or apprentice to be a leader for the stack. So my current maximum is basically 5 units once we get an apprentice slotted in. You can grow this through mastery and a few other means where you can have more units in an army group at one time. I haven't actually managed that yet, but I know it's possible. All right, so we've got 1 movement left on our 2 gobos here. Let's work our way over... And we'll work our way over here. All right, we are done. Nothing else we can do this round other than start hiring again. But I'm hoping that shaman is a follower. He is not a follower, so we're going to have to pay for him. Yeah, we have upkeep for him. Too bad. We're having to pay two gold per turn upkeep for that guy. We have no gold income currently. Alright, alchemy lab constructed. More storyline stuff. Place was ransacked. We go to the library. Managed to find part of our grimoire. Gain 10 research points. So we now have access to our alchemy lab because we built the alchemy lab. So with this, what we do is we basically combine ingredients and we can make different potions that we can use during combat or out in the overworld. So as you see, add items to inventory that containing life. The way it works generally is you need 3 points to reach a threshold, and there's 3 thresholds or 9 total points within each of these circles. So I have 3 slots plus a catalyst slot, which can have varying effects on the recipe. So I could, for example, go 1, 2, 3. That gives us 3 life points because it's got the little green symbol. Green is for life. And if we do that, we basically create rations, which is a healing item I can use during combat to heal my units. I'm going to hold off on that for the moment, though. But that's kind of the way it works. So we're going to go out harvesting those plants, mine those mining nodes, get rewards, buy from merchants, whatever. We're going to get a bunch of different ingredients, and we're going to combine them in different ways to create different recipes. You don't know any of the recipes at the start. You have to craft it in order to learn and memorize the recipe. But it's generally just combinations of the colors. So one recipe might be 6 of life and 3 of arcane. Could be 2 elemental nodes and 1 death node. You just have to kind of experiment or, look it up on a wiki. But that's kind of how it works. And there's rare items that have lots of different colors. You might have an item that has like 3 orange and 4 blue as one item. So we'll find that stuff out as we go. But I'm going to hold off on that for the moment. Now we also have our grimoire, which is very, very depleted and only a few pages available to us. We're going to learn more pages later or find pages we can add to it. So our first quest from our grimoire is to craft 10 potions or just craft 10 things, which we'll do. But we also have spells. We're going to start researching right now the Summon Enchanted Wisp. Going to cost 16 total research points. I've got 15. It's going to take 2 turns because of that. Yeah, and that's all we're going to do here. We also cast spells from here, which we have 2 slots, research slot and casting slot. We're not going to cast anything right now. The other pages are blank currently, and then these are the different rooms that we can unlock, and it shows you how you can do it. So earn the trust of the Northern Dwarven Kingdom, and we'd unlock a special room slot that we could use. All right, so we're done there. We're done up there. We know about these. Well, let's go ahead and do some things. Go grab that. So we got 10 gold for stepping onto the space. That is somebody we need to fight. I have my shaman. Fight him or wait? The stack's not really going to improve for a while. We better go fight him. Which is gonna kind of suck. Yeah, let's go ahead. Probably we'll get a... Oh, we could possibly... Why do they always say I could possibly lose my shaman? So the pre-battle screen is going to give the odds of my victory or defeat. We're on decisive victory currently. This glowing red means there's a possibility the auto combat, this unit might die. Usually if it's a single unit telling me I might die, and I don't anticipate other fights, I'll just auto-resolve. It'd be pretty rare or uncommon for this guy to actually die. He might go down to like 5 hit points, but I don't usually lose him. It could happen though, and that would be bad, but not catastrophic. Or we could actually go into combat. I'm just going to auto-resolve this one. We'll get into plenty of fights later. So yeah, we took some damage on these 3 units, but we defeated them with no problem. We gained 1 faction with an undiscovered faction. And we've got a quest location there. We've got more mana up there. I'm going to head back towards the tower, though. All right. I'm trying to remember what triggers the next quest thing. I think it's just on a timer now. Definitely not the crafting potions. We don't have enough room or enough money to do the workshop, which is what I'd like to get going next. Yeah, let's head back into our tower territory. We heal faster within our domain as well. And you'll notice when you click on locations like this down here at the bottom, units here regenerate daily, plus 100% health. This doesn't mean 100% of their health bar, which is what I was assuming and was confused by at first, because some locations will say plus 200 health. What you have to do is you have to click on a unit and then hover over their health bar here, and you'll see it says this unit regenerates up to 9 health per day. So at 100% healing regen... But you're going to get 9 anyway, and then a plus 100 location will give you another 9, so you'd heal 18, etc. So don't read that little text here as meaning you're actually going to get your full health bar back. You're only going to get that amount that your health bar showed in the tooltip. All right, we are out of points. I guess I could detach you and step onto it. Mana. Oh, 10 mana. We are done again. Nothing else to do. Alright, another tower event. Next steps. Restore the contents of the grimoire. I will not let the circle mages stop me. And, do the villagers plunder the tower after it was abandoned too? So, a hamlet has appeared. just magically appeared. Group back up, guys. Let's go visit the hamlet. Alright, so I have choices. I can scare them into submission, show them I mean no harm, or ask them why they're so hostile. We'll show them we mean no harm. They belong to me! No intention of harming you. Let's trade, or return the goods, pay a fine. Nah. And yes, a trade. Is that so hard to fathom? And we'll just go ahead and give them gold. Alright, so we got these materials for our crafting. We got some ashes, some wheat, potent water, a pumpkin, a potion of fire breathing, a Finon beer, and we gained 20 faction with, again, an undiscovered location, and lost 5 gold. And now we have these two symbols. So it's in our domain. We have stepped on and captured essentially the space. So we're now earning 1 gold. And this lets us, I forget, is it recruit faster? I forget what the hammer means. It's either build faster. It like lowers the build time for rooms by a turn. I think that's what it does. And we have more materials that we can craft with. There's not enough of them to really worry about at the moment, though, so I'm going to hold off on doing anything on this screen for now. All right, what next? We're out of storyline stuff. We've captured everything in range. Basically, we need to move outward a bit. I can see that. That's usually an altar to get a blessing for the unit, for the stack. Can't do anything with the resources. We've got a fight to control the bridge here. So the circle mages are 4 opponents that are generated and are out on the map somewhere, and it seems to randomize their locations. So that's another thing that changes how the game plays, is where your main enemies are focused. We're not going to need to worry about them for quite a while, but they just realize they could appear in different locations each playthrough. So how the map generates, other than the basic landscape, can be quite different. I've had some occasions where I've had a fairly open route to the south that I could move through and gather resources and harvest from, and other ones where, not far south where I can see, one of the circle mages was residing, and he basically locked off my ability to move that direction with big stacks sitting on top of bridges. So it'll be variable that way as well. Okay, we need to get some new research going. We got the wisp, and I am going to immediately summon a wisp. Here's another thing to know. It's 18 spell cost, and I've got 30 mana. So why can't I do that in 1 turn? It says 2 turns currently. The reason I cannot is because of the mastery level. So you can only channel as much magic as you have mastery ability. Sorry, mastery. You can only channel as much magic as you have mastery ability. So I've got 8 mastery. I can only do 8 mana per round towards a spell. So it says 18. That's interesting. Maybe it counts this round too. But that's generally the way it's supposed to work. You can't put more mana into a spell than you've got mastery of. I don't have a mastery entry that I can manipulate quite yet, so we'll get that here in a little bit. But now that we've learned that spell, a new one's been unlocked, we have Summon Animal Pack available. Let's do probably Primordial Forest next. Yeah. Let's do the Forest next, and then we'll do Aid after that. Alright, so we've got a research going, we've got a spell going. We now have more slots, so we have our 1 slot that we could do potion crafting in, and we have 2 slots that we could be recruiting in. These also take time, so I could be recruiting a shaman and a brawler simultaneously. I'm going to hold off on recruiting right now as well. Let's grab you, and basically we just need to pick a direction to go explore for a little bit until more events fire off. Yeah, I guess we'll go out towards the blessing. Aha! We have an unexplored camp up the hill. Bugs! So, we got the maximum damage blessing. Units always deal max damage. Is there a maintenance fee on troops? There is. So, these starter troops, the ones I began the game with, these guys have the follower tag, and you'll notice the little pop-up to the right requires no upkeep cost. Anything with a follower task or tag, you don't have to pay any upkeep for. The shaman that I got from the village, though, does not have the follower tag, and he has an upkeep of 2 gold, which is also shown up here. I'm getting 1 gold bonus from locations, that gold there, but then I'm losing 2 for the unit upkeep on that shaman. So it's important early game to try to keep these followers alive, because they don't cost you anything. If you just waste them and get them killed early, then it's a bad thing. Alright, so we got a maximum damage bonus. We've got a goblin fight right there. We've got bugs up the hill. We've got an unexplored camp. And we're not full strength. I should have waited a turn to get back up to full strength while we're back here in the village. I could sit again. These guys might move down the hill to attack me. I think these guys are going to stay where they're at. They're camping the ruins location right there. So I think I'm going to wait a turn, and then we'll see if we can get into maybe both of these fights, depending on how much damage we take from the first. Yeah, let's play it safe. We're not in a hurry. Alright, so their natural regen has got them pretty close to back to full strength, so let's do this one first. We're being told it'll be a heroic victory. We'll take some hits, but this is another one I'm not actually going to fight out. We're fairly significantly stronger than those two guys are. So, tiny bit of damage. And we have received a good luck charm with blue and green magic. That's, what, arcane and life magic, plus 10 mana. So we don't get any benefit from the 3 symbols under here. You only gain those if your domain is overlapping that location. One of the interesting things this game does that I haven't seen in other games is that your tower can move. In a little bit, we'll unlock the ability to levitate our mage tower, and then we can move it across the landscape and park it again in a new spot. So the reason you would do that is these locations, like this, the gold mine, once we get it in range, they're limited time. So they're only going to provide you that bonus. I think the gold mine is for like 12 turns, something like that. After 12 turns, it's depleted, and you no longer get the resources. So essentially, you need to be constantly relocating your mage tower. You cast a spell to make it levitate, then you can move it to a new location, you park it back on the ground, and whatever it's got around its radius, you then start getting resources from that location. So there's a constant shuffling and relocating of your base, and your units, ideally, would have to move along with or near your base as well. And that's part of the reason why the map is so big, is to accommodate the various mages moving their bases around constantly. So you have to kind of factor that in time frame wise. You're only going to be in one spot for 10 turns, 15 turns maybe at the outside, and then you have to shift to a new location. And some locations will appear via quest choices and options, just like this village appeared through a chain of events. So sometimes you'll have new stuff appear within an area. Alright, so we took a little bit of damage. We also got upgrades. These little arrows that are flashing here telling me these units have gone up a level. 15 levels that they can upgrade through. So we're level 1, 15 is the max, and every 5th level you'll get a better or more powerful combination of upgrades to choose from. So when I click this, I'm being given the choice of either increasing his willpower by 1 or his armor by 1. Basically, this is magic resist and physical resist. So armor up here says resistance against physical and elemental damage. Willpower is resistance against white and death magic, damage or spells. So I'm being given a choice of resistances. I'm going to go ahead and choose armor for this guy. You are getting choices of either earning more gold as loot after each battle or willpower. I'm going to go ahead and take the gold. And armor or increases daily regen rate. I'm going to go ahead and do his regen rate. He'll constantly be taking damage as the frontline troop, so letting him heal without me having to stop for a turn or use magic or other items is good. Alright, we have enough movement points to get up to the bugs, and I think we'll take them without too much trouble. 2 more Dwarven Ignitions moving through the camp. And again, we're getting that with nobody flashing red, so almost no chance, I don't believe, anybody's going to die. I've never had anybody die with this and nobody flashing red. Yeah, pretty easy. Most of these really beginning fights, I'm not even going to try to fight on the actual battlefield, but we'll do that eventually. 10 more research. Alright, so we've hit pretty much everything up here. I can't do those. Our Wisp will be ready next round, and so will our Primordial Forest. We can do this now. Let's get this going. So we got 3 wheat as a reward, so we're going to put 1 in each slot. That's 3 green slots, or 1 full life node. And we're going to get 2 rations, which is a healing item. And that'll give me 2 towards the 10 I need for the Grimoire quest option. Let's see. 1 point left, so let's go. Actually, I think I will grab a new unit from the tower. What do I want in this group? I want a ranged unit. Give me an archer. Whoops. Give me an archer. The reason I'm doing that is I'm going to peel this guy out of the group, this alchemist minion, because he's got the harvest plant ability, so I could have him out gathering up materials. So I'll peel him off to do harvesting duty, and I'll bring the archer over to supplement the group here. Alright guys, head back in. That way we can get the regen bonus. And we're done, we're done, we're done. Another tower event. Okay, so he talks about the Allfire source, where magic comes from. How do we access the Allfire? Let's summon a wisp. So an Allfire node is nearby. Right there. Of course, it's diametrically opposed to the direction I'm in. Let's see. We have a wisp. Let's go ahead and summon the wisp. I can summon them anywhere within one of my domains. I'm going to put him right on the corner here. And I get to move him the turn he comes in. I'm going to go ahead and tell him to go straight for the Allfire. And we're going to use alchemy. We have our alchemy lab up, so we're going to use an ointment to disperse the wasps peacefully. We gained 10 research. And the wisp is necessary because it has the ability to meld with the Allfire node. So the wisp will disappear, but it'll basically claim ownership of the Allfire node. I'll add it to my Allfire number here. And it'll create a domain around it, so we'll also get access to that. And we'll get 3 mana. So we have this button there to meld. It's going to take 2 turns. No, he won't come off the bridge, so we should be okay. I don't think anything will mess with me while I get that melded. You guys, we're going to peel you off and have you start harvesting. 4 turns. You guys, let's, it's going to take 1 more turn for the archer. I'm just going to bring them back to town. If your tower moves away from the town, do you lose control over it? You sure do. If I move my tower up to here, for example, there's no recruitable locations like this one provides, so I wouldn't be able to recruit from the town source nearby. But the tower upgrades, the buildings that are going to be available, will start gaining new building slots or building types, room types, and some of them are recruitment rooms where we can train our own troops. So part of the strategy is which rooms do you build in which order, how do you get them unlocked. There's various ways to get the unlocks for these. Raising faction in one of the nearby major cities to the highest level is going to give us access to a room where we can recruit their troop types directly in our tower. So those recruitment types will be able to travel with us. But recruitment options from map sources like this, if we're not in range with our domain, we don't get access to it. Alright, so we move those guys back. We'll get our archer and get moving again next round. We're harvesting. We need new. I'm going to go ahead and get aid next. And summon jelly. Let's get another wisp going. The wisps are great for several things. 1, they're your early troop that can claim Allfire nodes. 2, they're flying and ethereal, and a few other things. So they can fly across rivers and up mountains. So they make great long-range scouts that you can just run around scouting the map, picking up free resources and goodie huts and so on. Claim Allfire nodes if you happen across one that's unclaimed and not guarded. A lot of things you can do with the wisps. So I'm going to keep summoning wisps pretty much anytime I don't need to hoard mana for some other reason. Alright, as soon as we finish gathering that node up, we'll have access to another tab up here that we can control, which will help us out as well. Okay. End turn. Alright, so he's down to 3 turns for that node. We have our archer ready to go. Which way are we going to go? South and see if we've got a border here. Could go north. There's usually some enemy spawning camps up here. I think I'm going to go north and then east. One of the major cities I know is right here on the banks of this river that's going north. So I'm going to go try to kill a couple of enemy generating nodes if I can. Sometimes I'm not strong enough with this first group. And then introduce that tower. So we'll move you to there. Get the group put together. There's one right there. Thieves' Den. Unexplored. How strong? Just the 2 guys. We shouldn't have a problem with that. Alright, so a grain silo, just 2 money if I've got it in my domain. Some more resource nodes. These things that are glowing like this, though, they spawn enemies. I think it's once a week. An enemy unit of these types will spawn out and then start wandering around the map. So you want to try to eliminate these as quickly as you can. We're on day 7, actually. They're going to spawn a unit before I can finish them off. I'm going to have to fight 2 battles. I think they're going to spawn before I can take that node out. Alright, we haven't really gained anything material-wise to change... Oh, never mind. We'll do 3 of those and get a flintstone. So, this is just another ingredient type, but what it's doing is it's taking 3 1 resource node. So, these ashes only provide 1 of the elemental resource each. I'm going to combine 3 of them into a single item that has 2 power, 2 orange. The benefit of that is you're limited in how many slots you have available. So by upgrading from low-level single-slot items to double items, it makes the power I can apply per node stronger, so I can achieve these 3-3-3 connections. So that's what we're doing here. Alright, I don't want to recruit. We're negative cash, we're bleeding money until I get control of this mine, which I think will happen right after we get this next turn. I think that's when no, I need to get my mastery. We have to get that, then I have to raise my mastery level to 10, which will probably take a turn or 2. And then we'll expand our border. So we'll be okay as long as I don't spend any money in the near future. Week of Shauna. So every week there's a different week of, and it'll give a random bonus. So all of your units have plus 100% daily regeneration. So we're going to heal really well this coming week. We'll heal at double rate without any special other bonuses. And cities and shops have new inventory. So you can buy items and recruits at the various cities and shops. And every week it resets their inventory. We have captured the Allfire node. So it spreads my domain out around it. This then triggers another event here at our base. I need more guards. Local militia watchtower. Maybe we'll do that before we go roaming. Actually, no, I can go talk to them with the wisp. And we'll keep doing so. These guys haven't generated a spawn. That's great. Alright, so there's our Allfire node. Providing me 3. It's a meldable location where our wisp melded with it. Generates Allfire, emits a wizard's domain. So we're now up to 13 Allfire. Which will mean something here pretty soon, but I can't modify it quite yet. Let's get a new research going. Go ahead and grab the animal pack next. Let's get our wisp out right next to the militia outpost. I am going to give them 5 gold to join my ranks. And then I'm going to give them 10 more gold. And they're going to give me a cutthroat unit. So it's a lot of my money, but I know I'm going to be able to offset that before I get go busted. The reason this is a good thing is because this is a tier 2 unit. So we also gained the location, and we learned where the city of Lyrane is. So a lot of things just happened there. So we talked with the guards in the tower. We basically paid them off to join my side. So we have control of the tower. We're getting 2 gold and 2 research per turn. So that helped offset our cash problem. because it's in our domain. In addition, they knew about the city of Lyrane nearby, so they revealed the map in that area. That's that big city I said I was heading towards. And we got a cutthroat unit. And the cutthroat is a tier 2 unit, which is why I was willing to spend the money. It would have cost me a lot more to buy this other ways. Yeah, I haven't played any of the other locations or classes, so... Cutthroat's a more underwhelming T2 compared to Orc Brutes and Dwarven Mole Rider. It sounds that way. So what do they got? 75 hit points, which is okay. 10 armor, 9 willpower, which is Speed 7 is kind of standard. They have both a melee attack and a throwing knives attack. 8 physical damage to enemies within 3 range. Ignores all target armor is, I guess, the main ability on that. So it bypasses armor. Because otherwise, just that damage is pretty low without the armor bypass. Final strike, or first strike, I mean, always gets first attack. That's their big ability. So if something attacks them, we get to hit first. So we get to inflict our damage first, which has limited utility in the way the combats work in this game and the heal rates in between combats and such. But there are some rare occasions where this might actually make a difference in the combat. The reason I say that is because combat effectiveness is not changed by a unit having its hit points depleted like some games. Some games represent the hit point bar as, I mean, the picture shows 6 guys, but it doesn't actually work like 6 guys in this game. It's just one unit that has 75 hit points. If they're at 75 hit points, they do this damage. If they're at 1 hit point, they do this damage. Other games model it differently, whereas you deplete the hit point bar that's shown, it actually eliminates units within subunits, which lowers the effectiveness of their combat ability. So it could be important to first strike because the damage you do then will lessen the combat abilities of the unit. It doesn't work that way in this game. So that's why I say first strike is limited utility. Being able to hit first isn't going to change what's about to happen to the unit when they get attacked. So it's not as powerful as it is in other games. To just realize, if you're familiar with first strike from other games, to understand how the combat systems are different. And it's not nearly as powerful in this one. What else? That it? Serrated blades, they can inflict bleeding status, basically, and that's about it. So yeah, they're a pretty underwhelming unit. I don't know what their upgrade paths look like, though. So it could be one of those situations where at level 1, they stink, but they might get amazing upgrade options that turn them into just unholy terrors. So until I play the game more and I get familiar with the upgrade paths and so on, I can't really make a judgment. Yeah, the one and only time it'll help is if somebody that's low on hit points comes at you and you can first strike them to death. That is the exception to that. You would hope the AI is smart enough not to send a unit at you that's going to die to the first strike. A human wouldn't do that. So you would hope that the computer's at least smart enough to not suicide for no effect. Okay, so do I want to swap somebody out? I might pull a guy out for that. It's definitely better than the Goblin Brawlers. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll move you up. Pull you back to the tower for now. Get you in the group. They would do the same thing on Balanced. You wouldn't have to go all the way to Expert for that. Balanced and Expert use the same combat battle AI. You have to go all the way to Impossible to get a different battle AI than Balanced and Expert. Alright, so they're once again telling me I might lose somebody. At least it's not the Shaman this time. Pretty close. 5 gold. And a bonus to a hit point, so we should regen. He might not hit max, but we should be pretty close otherwise. The end of the turn. We got another camp up here. That's not a enemy generating one, though. Let's see. Yeah, I might send him up there. We might finish clearing out the enemies up here. I don't see too many resource harvest nodes up there yet, but we have a fight on the bridge here before we can get to the city. Maybe I should do that first so we can make sure we get that unlocked as quick as possible. Alright, Gobbo, I'm going to send you back to the tower for now. Whoops. Oh well. Let's get you scouting. Let's see, where do I want to go? I put Shapers up there this time. That's interesting. I got Shaper's Secret in range of that tower. That'll be all I get, those two, but that's actually pretty good. So probably we'll relocate our tower up here on the first relocation, because we have to get our tower near this regardless to advance the storyline stuff. But having it next to that is actually kind of nice. So I'll probably move my tower to like here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we might be able to do it in one turn. I'll have a 4 range on my tower by then, and I can move 5 per round, so we might be able to get it done in one round and incorporate both of these. So, that'd be cool. Save me a turn or two. So we'll leave you here for the moment, but you're gonna go exploring. Let's go... Let's go out this way. I want to sweep up this valley and take a look, and then back on this side. Usually there's a lot of resources back here to harvest, and I need to know if there's any enemy generators back there to take care of before I set my workers loose. Okay, 22 mana. So I need to make sure I get myself up to 45 plus mana. That's what it's going to cost me to eventually lift the tower and relocate it. I want to get a primordial forest down too. I think I can get that done and still have enough time to get the other stuff. Hopefully. Alright, we're not going to recruit right now. No, I gotta be careful with gold. Gold's the hardest thing to come across, so you gotta be really cautious with gold. The other ones, there are multiple ways to get the various resources, and I tend to have as much as I might need. Gold is always the thing in short supply. Third time the charm? Well, it's more a matter of first time was for learning. Second time was intended to be a playthrough I could finish up and send a recording over to YouTube. But the power outage, anytime the power cuts out during a live stream, the recording software can't properly close out the video clip, and it ends up basically destroying the however many hours of recording video that you've been doing. So I didn't have a big chunk of video to send over, and I didn't want to download the Twitch copy because that's terrible, compressed and everything. It looks bad. So we're starting a third one with the intent of actually finishing a game and having a full playthrough I can send over to YouTube. So nothing new storyline wise unlocked. You're gonna go to sleep for now. You are gonna keep moving. Let's go. Alright, clear so far. We didn't quite get a full heal, but we got another turn before we need to get over there, so... We'll just park in front of the bridge. And that'll get us back up to probably close to full. That'll be an easy fight, and then we can go talk to the city of Lorraine. We've only got... I'm not sure if we've actually got the first node or not at 64. They're saying hated? Yeah, I must not have gotten the first. I need one more XP so we can get something done. Hopefully, I think killing those goblins will get me the faction that I need. At least get the first rank of options. This is another way where you can cycle through your troops that need to move. It shows you the different stacks you've got and what movement points or how many turns it's going to take to do their various actions. I always hit escape thinking it'll close the window. So we're done there. Anything new we can do here? Not really. I'm saving my chunk of meat for a particular use. Nah, we're good. We'll get a resource unlock with this guy next round. Hopefully we'll get some more wheat or something. What do we get? We got 6 wheat! Yay! 2 more roots and 2 blossoms. That's pretty good. Alright, another tower event. This is the next one I was waiting for. Open the door! Indeed. What happened to our master? Skip to the end. Alright, so what's happened is our apprentice, our first apprentice has arrived. So we got Elven Rangers and 2 units of wolves along with our apprentice here. Up the hill again. Sure are stacking that area up there with a lot of stuff. Alright, so inside our tower, this is why I sent my unit back here, by the way. We now have our apprentice, Nalkus of Kanak. He's a healer, basically. He's got a mental bolt ranged attack, melee, which hopefully he never gets into melee. First aid skill, heal 30 health of an allied unit within 3 range. It is limited by focus, though. It costs 2 focus to cast. I have 8 focus total for a fight. So I could cast that first aid 4 times, basically. Barring using something else to raise or regen my focus pool. He's also got the Build Lodge ability, which is a way of increasing the domain around me. Each of your apprentices can build a lodge, and it will spread domain around the lodge, so you can gather up more resources via your lodge building. Follower unit I'll have to pay for. He's got the healer first aid. He's a healer, which is providing the first aid trait. He's also an alchemist, gifted pupil, so he has more focus, etc. And he has 20% white resist. So, he's okay. He's also come with some Elven Rangers, which are a really good archer unit, of course. And some wolves, which I'm not super excited about the wolves. I usually peel them out and have them be long-range scouts. And stick some heavier units in there. But we'll keep them for the moment. And then our Gobbo Brawler. I'd rather have another ranged unit, but we'll make do with what we got for the moment. Alright, so our worker... I'm worried about going up to these, because I haven't explored further, and there might be something out there that's gonna come say hi. I could run them back over here and get working on these 2, where I know we're fairly safe. I think is what I'm gonna do. So... a tower appeared. We have to go defeat the tower for the next step in our reacquisition of all of our master's stuff. But there's also this guy, a horned beast. He's going to make a beeline straight from my tower. He's going to try to come destroy my tower. He's just melee. Lots of melee. 135 hit points is pretty big, with 10 willpower and 12 armor. So you got to hit him a lot to get him gone. And he's got resistance, elemental and white resistance, so... Alright, good thing we have a stack of units here. I don't think I can... Yeah, I can't get to him this turn. Which means he can't get to me this turn either. Oh, that's funny. The tower is blocking the route between these spaces, so you have to go all the way around. I guess I could go meet him at the blessing. I don't think he'll be able to come straight through, but either way, it would be good for us to get the blessing anyway. Yeah, let's go get the blessing. Oh, random event. Alright, catch a shimmer in the air. Sworn this place is empty. Now you see a wishing well. The wishing well. Alright, we'll go visit that later. Finish going here. So, max damage. Usually damage is in a range like 10 to 15 damage. Well, while this blessing is in play, we'll always do the high end, the top end, 15. Which should be helpful. We're out of movement points, right? Everybody but my hero, my apprentice, and the wolves. So we'll wait right there. Alright, more glowy stuff. So, tower. They want us to do more rooms, basically. I want to get the workshop up primarily, but I need 45 gold for that. And we don't have that yet. I'm going to hold off on doing these. Now we have our all-fire meter, or whatever this is called, the all-fire flow. We get to control the all-fire. Basically, it splits into these 3 categories. Mana, proficiency, and research. And where we put our little puck determines the ratio that goes to each category. Right now, I want proficiency. We need mastery 10. So I need 9 points to get to from 8 to 9. Yeah. So we need to, I want to maximize this right now. So I'm going to go pretty much no research for the moment. We're going to top this out because I need to hit mastery 10 as quick as possible. So that'll take 2 turns. We'll get mastery 10. I think the blessing is just until your next combat. We'll have to check it. It shows on the characters. Whatever it's called. Yeah, blessing. Lasts for 1 battle. There you go. Alright, what else we got? We're going to move this way. Another blessing for damage. So we've got a 1 single archer up here. Gee, I wonder if my wisp can kill 1 archer. I'm not actually sure. I've never had that kind of a matchup. Yeah, we're not going to worry about it. He's not going to move off that space anyway. 2 Berserk Shrooms. And that guy is going to move. He's going to come down and hit my wisp, and we'll have to retreat. And we'll have to chase him down and kill him. Alright, who else we got? So, yep, we're back up to full health. Let's go kill this guy. Looks like it turned orange instead of red, so... Indifferent. So we got the first level of faction out of 4 levels possible. Each level will enable us to be able to do more things. We also got level ups on everybody. Alright, cutthroats, what you gonna get? The harvest ability! Huh. No, we're gonna have human workers doing that for us. I'll take the willpower. Either increase the white damage of his electro balls by 1 or willpower. I'm gonna take the willpower. Uh-oh, pack tactics. Or backstab. I don't think these guys are gonna get flank options too much unless I get the smoke bomb ability and can teleport them behind the enemy line. I usually have fast movers that I try to do flanking with. Pack tactics, though, if we can get that on a few different goblins, that'll raise the damage for everybody a fair amount. I'll take pack tactics. And either 30% more loot or some armor. I'll take the loot. And let's go talk to the city. So we got 2 quests we can grab. We don't get this one, which is one of those tower rooms that I was talking about. So if we can get our faction to the highest level, the highest rank up here, to 4, it unlocks the human barracks blueprint. And we can just click on it to collect it, and then we'll be able to build a human barracks room in our tower, which will let us recruit human units whenever we want. So we'll grab these 2 quests. New location popped up. Ooh, do I want pests and vermin right now? I might wait on pests and vermin. I'm going to wait on pests and vermin because it spawns quest locations that have the bugs, and I think they move around when you spawn it, and I don't want that quite yet. But we'll let that one sit for a little bit. We also have a training ground, so we have access to the first level units. These are human workers. These basically let us go harvest plants or mine ore. They're pretty good at it. They have a 1 upkeep, so I got to be careful how many I hire. We're about to expand our domain, though, when we hit 10, and we'll get that mine under our control, which is why I'm so desperate to get to Mastery 10. So let's go ahead and we'll get 2 of those for now. Oops, I'm out of money. Oh crap. It's going to take me too long. I'm going to have to sell something to make sure we can keep that cash going. Alright, we'll do the rest of that later. And then you can also buy materials at the Dancing Rat, or recruit some guys. Alright, we're done for the moment. We can run over and grab some material and then up the hill. Try to rescue my wisp. Human worker. Well, I was expecting a little bit more in the way of resources up here. I'm worried again about random enemies coming down the hills. Already got somebody going to get that. I can't go up there because I will get attacked and have to retreat until my guy chases them off.